Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a bonus reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Scorpio, I hope you're doing well. These messages are from your passed away loved ones. Messages from your passed away loved ones. So I'm going to just be using 2 decks for this reading today. I'm going to get 1 card from the Wisdom of the Oracle for the overall energy, and I'm going to read from the book at the end, and using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck for your reading. Cards have been pre-shuffled. Angels, spirits, guides, what messages do you have from Scorpio's passed away loved ones? Scorpio, they're telling you to get to work. Keep yourself busy, rather. The card is number 42, which reduces to a 6, which is the Lover's card in the major arcana of the tarot. Lover's card is Gemini energy and can talk about divine partnership, divine union, but it can also talk about making a choice. Very important. Ooh, your spirit guides just rang my ear ever so slightly, but they were just like beep. A very important choice. The card is chop wood. Chop wood, and you can see here it's a broom or a mop and some kind of bucket. So it's kind of like keeping yourself busy, making sure that you're being diligent in whatever it is that you do. And if you can't make a decision on something, don't let the time go idly by, is what they just said. Be productive, which is not to say we can't have times of rest. That's not saying that at all. But if there's something that you know you need to get done, and there's a decision that you need to make, but you can't quite make it right now, get your chores done. Take care of the small things. Make doctor's appointments, is what they just said. Make doctor's appointments. So, chop wood. I'm going to be reading from the book at the end. I don't have a specific layout today. I'm going to pull 3 cards and just see what messages come out from your passed away loved ones. There's nothing here that it's not about past, present, future. It's just about what do they want to say to you right now in this moment. I have 3 cards down, and I will pull clarifiers if I feel as though I need to. The first card you got is the Chariot in reverse. This is Major Arcana number 7, representing Cancer energy. Chariot card talks about very quick movement forward, that we have a mastery over the yin and the yang energies, the light and the dark, the light and the shadow aspects of who we are. Chariot card can talk about victory and kind of really driving forward. Can also talk about international travel. So if you are traveling somewhere, but you did get this card in the reverse, so it's kind of like your loved ones are saying, I can see that you're a little stagnant right now. 10 of Wands coming up next. 10 of Wands in the reverse. In the upright, it talks about almost coming to the point where we're putting down the burden. You can see here that this character is kind of struggling to walk up that hill. Keep running up that hill. You know, there's that song. Who sang that song? Depeche Mode. Running up that hill. I don't know. I don't know if it's that band, but I'm getting a very specific scene in my mind. It's from the show Bones. I don't know if anybody remembers that show. It was on Fox in the United States, but actually, and in that show there was a character named Temperance. So Temperance might have to do with something like a patience or impatience. But anyway, that song is played in a very specific scene in that show. And that show came on, I don't even know, 15, 20 years ago at this point. I don't even remember. But that scene was really memorable because Temperance, you know, it was about a forensic scientist and an FBI agent and all of their adventures. And Temperance was trapped in a car that was buried underground. And they didn't know if they were going to be found. And it was about ingenuity and trying to get ourselves out of a dicey situation. And Bones, who was the FBI agent, was running to save Temperance, right? It was something that felt impossible. That they didn't know if they'd ever find a way out, and yet they did. But Spirit is bringing that to me because it's almost like there's like an uphill battle, or there's some situation where you just don't know how you're going to get out of it. You don't know if there's possibility for you, and it could have you feeling a little stagnant because you're trying to figure out solutions, but it almost seems overwhelming. And the Page of Swords comes out now to kind of suggest that it takes a little bit of research and ingenuity and curiosity and the belief that there is an answer out there. Page of Swords talks about taking a first step forward into the kind of the realms of learning. So I'm fixated on this area right here, the ground beneath her feet. There's a U2 song called The Ground Beneath Her Feet that might be relevant for someone. But this layering, kind of striations of land, is making me think of garden courts. And I'm sorry, I'm looking to the side here to see if I can find a good example. Sorry, Spirit really wants me to show this to you, so I want to show it to you. Of the striations. Maybe this is a good example. I don't know if you can see. It's going to be hard to kind of see. This is lodolite. It's garden quartz. And it's a crystal of grounding. You can see here the striations kind of trapped within time in this quartz. I don't know why that's important, but it felt important. One, this idea, the sense that you have to ground yourself because you could be, I feel a sense of anxiety. I don't see any like anxiety here yet, but I feel it. I feel like I don't have a way out. I feel like a sense of trapped. There are no possibilities. How can I get out from underneath this mountain of worry, debt, responsibility? Kind of take your pick. And your passed away loved ones are kind of saying there's always a way out. You just have to explore the possibilities, because right now you might be so kind of paralyzed by it. Getting back to this chopped wood, do things that serve your everyday. So now they're showing me, getting a lot of TV and movies, they're showing me a scene from Jane Eyre. There was a broadcast of Jane Eyre on Masterpiece Theater on PBS in the United States. And of course it was a British production. And there's a scene where two sisters that Jane grew up with, that she, you know, they all couldn't stand each other. But these two sisters are kind of feuding, and one is very superficial, and the other one is very by the book. And the superficial one is just complaining about her life, complaining about her, just her existence, and woe is me. And the other sister kind of puts her in her place and says, if you put yourself to task every single day, you do something productive, the day will be over before you know it. And all of your anxiety will be quelled because you won't have time to think about it, because you're in this space of productivity. And your mind won't have a chance to be idle and to invite in that analysis paralysis. It's a very harsh scene because it's so British, and she just puts her in her place to the point where the sister starts crying, because she just talks about the idleness of her life. And that is not what your passed away loved ones are trying to tell you. They're not trying to make you upset, but what they are saying is that it's important that you take everything day by day, hour by hour, if necessary, and squash that anxiety and fill it with something of use to you. For some people, it could be like doing your taxes, and for other people, it could be getting up and taking a shower, brushing your teeth, the basic needs that we have to function. You know, it's for people who, and I'm not saying that this is you, although it could be some Scorpio that I'm talking to. You know, if you are in a depressed state, even the act of getting out of bed and bathing is difficult. So whatever spectrum we're talking about here, putting yourself to task, even if it doesn't address the bigger choice, the thing, the grander decision making, right? Maybe you have a decision that you like, should I stay in this job or should I leave this job? That's a big decision. You know, maybe making the smaller decision, which is I'm going to meal prep for the week, and I'm going to chop up the vegetables and, you know, make the chicken stock and make myself soup for the week so I have something to eat, right? Both are equally important in the scheme of things. Yes, you need a job to live, but you also need to feed yourself to live. Both are equally important, and these are just examples. And Spirit is kind of bringing that message to you now, that you don't think that doing the dishes or taking a walk or reading through your, you know, the books that you have on your bedside table, you don't think any of those are productive enough, but they certainly are. They certainly are. You know, you only just have to watch an episode of Hoarders, right? Like, I know some of you have seen things on the internet or on cable or on Netflix, like about hoarders, right? It's a terrible, terrible mental health disorder, right? Where people are just trapped inside their homes because of their mental health problems, and they just can't do basic functions. And we take that for granted sometimes, that we're able to do basic functions like put our shoes away, hang up our clothes, do our laundry. It's Spirit's really not letting me let this go. They want to make that clear to you, that you don't think you're being productive in doing those mundane daily tasks, but you are. Because when you put your life in order at home and you have a sanctuary at home, then you can go out into the world and tackle bigger issues. I'm going to get a clarifier for the Chariot in reverse. Yeah, 10 of Cups in reverse. You're looking for answers as to what makes you happy. I suddenly felt my blood sugar drop. Like my blood pressure just got really, it just fluctuated. Almost to the point of dizziness. My temperature is like literally fluctuating right now. I don't know why. I think I'm gonna have to eat lunch after I do this reading. I ate breakfast today. It's not that. I'm really feeling it. So this could be you. You could be neglecting something with your health, where your blood sugar is fluctuating or your blood pressure is fluctuating. Sorry, I just need to take a sip of water. It's making me feel a little lightheaded. I didn't feel that way before. It just came over me. I'm gonna burn some Palo Santo. Sorry, I just want to recenter myself. It's important, right, to protect our energy. There's something going on with you, Scorpio. I haven't felt this in a very long time, so I don't interpret this as something that's going on with me. I think it's for somebody out there. Grounding is very important. Taking care of your basic needs is of the utmost importance right now. This could be such an overwhelming concept to you. What is it that makes me happy? I can't answer that for you. That's something you have to figure out on your own. But finding joy in the everyday, expressing gratitude in the everyday, is one step closer to figuring it out. You know, clarifier for the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Page of Cups, 9 of Wands in the reverse. Nine of Wands talks about the wounded warrior living to fight another day. When the card is in reverse, it suggests to me that you're really, really tired and really, really interested in not putting up a fight anymore. You know what I see this as? The white flag. Page of Cups can be a small but significant gesture of love. And it can also represent apology. So I just saw like somebody like the white flag, like peace, peace. But I see this as somebody bringing it into you. Somebody owing you an apology. I think this is separate from this issue over here of your happiness. This is separate. But I see somebody like really owing you an apology. Because it's just like, I'm tired. 9 and 10 of Wands in reverse. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. This could be a partner. Let me get a clarifier for the Page of Swords. What is it that Scorpio needs to be curious about? 5 of Swords in the reverse. This is kind of cut and dry for me, this message. Your passed away loved ones are saying, stop comparing yourself. This is, okay. I feel as though this is it. This is kind of like the crux of the issue. That you're comparing yourself to others and thinking that their conception of happiness has to be your conception of happiness. And Spirit's kind of showing me, it's like, if you're going to be curious about something, the first thing you got to do is not compare yourself to other people. What is it that really speaks to you? Be curious about that. Do research about that. So, you know, I'll give you an example. Here we see, you know, happy family, 2 kids here. For me, I don't have children, and I never want to have children, and I'm not criticizing that, but not having children is something that I've known since I was like 12 years old. I never wanted to have kids. I'm a Cancer too, so it's like we're the mothers of the zodiac. I'm very much a protective force in the lives of the people in my life. So I'm very mothering to them. But I knew that having kids was not really in the cards for me. So I don't try to compare myself to people that have that life. It's a beautiful thing. I'll always be the auntie, and I love that, you know. I'm very protective of children, but it's just not what I see in my version of happiness. So I don't compare myself, and I don't allow others to compare me to that either. You know, don't you ever want to have kids? Don't you want to this? You know, like, no. That's not my conception of happiness. So Spirit is kind of giving me that message for you right now. And the emergency vehicles coming through. They haven't come through in a few hours. Spirit is really wanting you to hear this message. Please don't compare yourself. You're one of a kind anyway. You don't have to do it. So I'm going to read from the book now. Number 42, Chop Wood. 42, Chop Wood. Being grounded in everyday experience, humility. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. That's your reading, Scorpio. Your passed away loved ones are saying, show gratitude to yourself for your everyday experience, and the answers will come. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Scorpio.